Often associated with alternating current, radio, and wireless technology, Tesla actually lived a much more complex and struggle-filled life. The difficulties behind his genius and the obstacles he faced from childhood on shaped him into the inventor we know today. Tesla was born in 1856 in Smiljan, a small village in Serbia. He was the son of an Orthodox priest and a highly talented mother. His mother was remarkably skilled at inventing household appliances, and Tesla inherited this practical ingenuity from her. However, Tesla's childhood wasn't as idyllic as it might appear. His mind was constantly filled with strange visions, sometimes tormenting, sometimes inspiring. These visions appeared as flashes of light or vivid mental images of objects he saw. While today this might be linked to certain psychological conditions, Tesla saw it as part of his genius. One of the greatest traumas of his childhood was the tragic death of his elder brother Dane at the age of 5. Dane was the family's hope, a bright and talented child. His death in a horse-riding accident left a profound mark on Tesla. After this event, Tesla felt the weight of his family's expectations on his shoulders, admitting he constantly compared himself to Dane. This early loss caused Tesla to become more introverted and at times to suffer from severe migraines. Young Nikola faced unique challenges in his academic life too. While studying electrical engineering at Graz University of Technology, his obsessive way of learning was noticeable. He would spend hours experimenting to gain in-depth knowledge, especially about dynamos and motors. Yet, during this period, he experienced one of his life's greatest disappointments. Due to financial problems faced by both the school administration and his father, he was forced to drop out. This was a major blow to him, deeply shaking Tesla's hopes for the future. Although he later tried to attend Charles University in Prague, he again encountered financial inadequacies and bureaucratic hurdles. These were the first signs that Tesla would constantly struggle with monetary issues. For a large part of his life, despite his belief in his inventions, he faced significant difficulties in earning money and commercializing his creations. After his academic struggles, Tesla moved to Paris and began working for the Continental Edison Company. Here, he worked on troubleshooting and improving power plants across various parts of Europe. Even during this time, his unusual ideas and strong work ethic stood out. However, his years in Paris were filled with loneliness and poverty. On one occasion, he even collapsed from exhaustion while working on a new motor design. Tesla's dream was to go to America and work with Thomas Edison. In 1884, he arrived in New York with just a few cents in his pocket, a letter of recommendation, and a poem. In the letter to Edison, his former boss Charles Batchelor had written, "I know two great men. One is you, the other is this young man." While this opened a new chapter in Tesla's career, his relationship with Edison also had its own difficulties. The collaboration between Edison and Tesla marked the beginning of one of the most well-known rivalries in electrical history, the War of Currents. Edison advocated for direct current, DC, while Tesla believed in the potential of alternating current, AC. Edison offered Tesla $50,000 to improve his DC motors. Tesla successfully completed this task, but faced huge disappointment when Edison failed to deliver on his promised payment. This was the first instance of intellectual property and commercial injustices that Tesla would experience repeatedly throughout his life. After this incident, Tesla set out to establish his own company. However, finding investors and bringing his ideas to life proved to be much harder than he anticipated. At one point, he was forced to dig ditches just to survive. This revealed the bitter truth of a genius-level inventor fighting for his very existence. Tesla's life wasn't solely about his inventions. He was also a man with personal obsessions and phobias. He had an extreme fear of germs, constantly sterilizing his food. He also had an obsession with the number 3. He would always request hotel rooms on floors divisible by 3 and wipe his plates 3 times before eating. These behaviors gradually affected his social relationships, making him increasingly isolated. Towards the end of his life, Tesla became increasingly paranoid and withdrawn from people. He believed many of his inventions had been stolen and even thought some governments were tracking him. He also faced severe financial difficulties, living alone in hotel rooms. In 1943, at the age of 86, he died alone in a New York hotel room. Even his death didn't garner as much attention as the value of his inventions. Nikola Tesla was not just an inventor, but a genius who struggled with many difficulties throughout his life, often misunderstood and left alone. The losses he experienced from childhood, financial difficulties, commercial injustices, and personal obsessions formed the shadows behind his brilliant mind. Yet, despite all these challenges, his contributions to humanity were invaluable. Many technologies we use today are products of his visionary genius. His story shows us that genius is shaped not just by brilliant ideas, but also by resilience, perseverance, and often by pain. Tesla's life should continue to inspire us and encourage us to explore his lesser-known facets.